Warning: the following podcast contains mature language and adult discussions. You have been warned.
God, I hope so.
Welcome to the store.
We're back! Welcome once again to the Video Store Clerks Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, we missed you guys so much. It feels like it's been forever, but here we are. We're back, ready to go. We got the four horsemen, but tonight we also have a very special guest. You might recognize them from some of our past episodes. This is Whitman, everybody.
What's up, everybody?
What is up? Yes. We're glad to have you back with us, especially tonight, because tonight, among the many other groovy things we have lined up for you, we will be discussing the newest installment in the beloved horror franchise known as Evil Dead. We will be talking about Evil Dead Rise. Spoiler filled, so if you haven't seen the movie, I kind of want you to watch anyway, but you know, I'm not like that, so your final warning, spoilers. We will also be doing the news, and because we missed you guys so much, we will be doing not one, but two clips of the week. But once again, who said that? Just 1 second. Okay. But before we get started, we're going to introduce ourselves. We are, once again, your Video Store Clerks. I'm Dave.
Chad, man.
Mike.
Chuck, this is Whitman.
And Whitman again. And also make sure to check out Whitman's Facebook. You can find him at Whitman Photography on Facebook. A lot of good stuff. He just did a great photo shoot for our boy Chuck Nasty over there for one of his recent gigs down there in Kentucky. Bastard Sons of a Judas Goat. I did not say the. Did you see that? I'm getting better. And the rule still, but you're welcome. The other rule still applies. If I say or Chad has to pinch my nipples.
Are you still on that trope?
Yes, because that's the only way to get me to stop doing it.
That's ridiculous. Okay. I mean,
it was that, or we were going to use mouse traps. I lobby for the nipples.
Dude, mousetraps would be kind of cool though if you could do it.
I gotta look at my contract.
Renegotiate.
It's time to get HR.
I mean, I love getting all day, but I mean, if you can handle the pain, I'm always about it.
I figure that's the only way to get me to stop doing it. If I associate it to pain. See, I almost did it again, but I stopped myself.
Wait a minute. You got a contract?
Shh. But anyway, we will start the show as we always do with the news.
That was a good one. I was curious to see what the fart sounded like this time. This time it was a mixture. It sounded like somebody having coronavirus.
Somebody having a rough night.
Sound like Dave had some chicken wings before he got here.
Kick and wing.
Oh, we have so much to report, but we'll always stick with the basics. Otherwise, we'll be here all night. And we don't want to do that because we're talking about Evil Dead Rise tonight. We want to get to the main course as soon as possible. So let's get it started. The gerbil was discovered in his rectum, died of a drug. Oh, wait, sorry. Wrong part.
That's for the next show.
Wait, Richard Gere's back in the news?
Oh boy, the writer's strike. So we reported a couple months ago that this was probably going to happen. It's the first one in a long time. I think, God, probably like 15, 20 years since this has happened. So if you're new to this, what this means for us is pretty much every TV show and movie, anything in entertainment is most likely to get delayed. Probably by, well, I mean, I think the last one lasted 100 days. So there's no telling how long. Pretty much every late night show is on hiatus. Like Jimmy Kimmel and all that nonsense. Cobra Kai gets delayed. Yellow Jackets gets delayed. A couple shows are safe. House of the Dragon. But there was another HBO Max show. I think it's
time to catch up, people. If you need to catch up on shit, this is the time to do it. Yeah,
exactly. Welcome to Derry is. I think they said they have half their scripts done and they're going to start shooting. So we'll see how that goes. Movies, especially Marvel, is probably going to take the biggest hit. That fucking Blade movie is just never going to get. I think they should just give up on that one at this point.
No, don't talk like that. Like,
yeah, I mean, it's just God.
I'm just waiting for a good Blade movie to come back. So,
and this one is like it just wasn't meant to be. I don't know why. All the late night shows, Saturday Night Live. Several other TV shows, pretty much anything that isn't completed. And sometimes TV shows and movies will take a chance of shooting without the writer, and 9 times out of 10 that turns out to be a big mistake. But we'll see. We'll see. Like I said, the last one lasted a while. I think it was 100 something.
Prepare for some suck, people. Yeah, prepare for some suck.
Well, the longest one was like 153 days, but that was back in '88. So
yeah. This happens every decade, every 15 years or so. This happens. It always does. But in some scary news, studios have been talking about perhaps letting AI replace the writers.
Let's not do that. Whoa, let's not do that.
that is scary.
That's terrifying. Let's not do that.
We're only a few steps away from Skynet becoming self-aware, ladies and gentlemen. So
yeah.
Live in fear.
Yep.
Yeah.
Already do.
Although I am kind of curious to see how that would
see, and that's how it starts.
That's exactly how that shit starts.
I heard oh my gosh, there was some fucking thing that somebody posted the other day about like there was some AI that was fucking doing Chester Bennington's voice on a song like that he's never saw before.
Yeah.
I think Joe was
my song.
Yeah.
Hey,
and I was like,
poo.
I was like, that's fucking weird.
Well, didn't they just have like an AI Biggie at the last like Nas Woo show or something?
I don't know. We're all fucked.
Yeah.
Maybe in the future the AIs will come back and watch the video store clerks to enjoy themselves.
Maybe.
As
Jeff Goldblum says, evolution always finds a way.
I hope we get shot in space and like this is the first thing the aliens see.
No.
That'd be funny.
There's nothing about that makes me happy. I don't.
They'd be like, these guys are better off.
That'd be great.
Hi, AI.
In other news,
Mac and me.
Oh God, Beetlejuice 2 has made the rounds yet again.
Everybody's telling me to believe it. I don't. I'll believe it when I see some shit about it.
Warner Brothers announced it. They gave it a release date around the same time the writer's strike happened. So, ladies and gentlemen, they can't have a script. Michael Keaton has said for years he's on board. So that doesn't mean anything. There's no nothing attached.
Confirmed.
Just, I mean, anyway.
I believe it when I see it.
Exactly. I was just going to say the same thing. I'll believe it when I see it, and I don't know if I want to see it because the original Beetlejuice, ladies and gentlemen, came out in 1988.
It's been a while.
It's been a minute. But we'll see. I just felt I had to report that. Malcolm Jamal Warner. Do you remember him from The Cosby Show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's alive.
Yeah.
He's alive.
Yeah.
He recently had a death hoax a couple weeks ago.
Oh, I didn't know.
He's alive.
Well, that's good.
So people, stop.
He'll be glad to know that.
I keep thinking that Leonardo DiCaprio is dead. I don't know. Like, I keep seeing shit about that. And then Angelina Jolie apparently is dead too. Everybody's dead, but yet they're not. Maybe that's also AI. I want you to believe it's all a hoax.
Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro recently welcomed his 7th child into the world at the age of 79.
What?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
I mean, is it actually his though?
Oh, well, that's for Maury Povich to figure out.
I mean, can you do that? Can you are you able to help create a child when you're that old?
It depends on how your Phelpses are swimming.
I don't know. He's got money, good doctors.
That's true. Hey, good on him.
Oh,
You already played that one, I thought.
I know, but I wanted to see it again because I wanted to make sure I read that right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. In other news, it finally happened. The Gremlins animated series is actually happening. It is coming out the 23rd of this month. The trailer just dropped today.
Oh shit. Okay.
Gremlins.
I'm
What was it called? The Secrets of the Mogwai. So it's a prequel for the older Chinese guy. How he gets him in the shop and everything.
How the hell have I heard about this? That's cool.
It's been gestating for years and years, and I think like the pandemic held it up. And
I heard about it, and I thought it was fake. I thought it was just more fake news, but that's.
I'm on board for that shit. Yeah.
Oh Jesus!
What?
We're just.
Oh.
Yeah, our chat is open. The store is open. People, say what you want. You can never share enough or too much or anything like that.
Love
Zach Galligan is doing voice work, as is our boy James Hong. Still working. He's still fucking working. I love that guy. I love that guy.
I was gonna. What about Howie?
Howie's not listed. So I don't know what's up with that. And I wanted to ask you guys just real quick because I cannot remember. I'm sure it's probably happened, but I can't remember a time this happened. The CBS show SWAT, as it's also well, okay. We love you, Elfie Poo. It is also that time of the year when networks cancel shows left and right in order to make room for their newest fall season, which will start in September. One of the casualties was CBS's SWAT. Anybody? Me neither. But the show's I've heard of it. It's been on for 6 or 7 seasons, and it was among those to get canceled on Friday, I believe. Well, the weekend went by. And Monday or Tuesday, CBS went back and announced they're bringing the show back for one more season. So has it ever happened when a show got canceled by a network and then over a weekend it got brought right back to the same network? I can't think of one.
I mean,
it would have only been replaced with another cop show because that's all they fucking have on TV, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Well, after it was canceled, one of the stars of the show took to social media to. He did make a big stink about it, but he was just like, I don't understand. Our numbers are good. This is shocking, yada, yada, yada. And CBS got so much backlash from this show that I didn't even know was still on that they brought it right back. So fear not. Everything else is probably going to get canceled.
I mean, I guess that's good.
I mean,
if people want it back, I'm glad it's back, but I didn't even know it existed. So
I'm not even sure if I think I remember it. Like, I'm pretty sure I remember it, but I never watched it or watch it if it's still on.
And I certainly didn't know it was still on. But anyway,
SWAT.
Well, there's SWAT, there's the gerbil, there's that, there's this, and nobody cares about that.
Wait,
that's
what
it for
about
the news.
No, wait. What about the fucking news of the sequel to Freaky Friday coming out. It's in the works.
It's all in
What?
the works.
Lindsay Lohan,
Probably.
your friend,
You know-
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah, I know who it is. I know what it is.
Yeah,
I just don't like.
Freaky Friday. It's got to be Freaky Saturday if you're gonna do the next movie, right?
Yeah.
Or Funky Friday the following week.
No, Super Mario, nothing. Elfie Poo.
I don't know.
you
I
need to stay
want to
here.
see Super Mario. Well, maybe you can check it out later then.
It's
The
all
old
right.
one?
No, the
All
new one.
right.
The one that just came out.
Thanks for checking out and watching.
Yeah,
I was
thanks-
enjoying your post.
Thanks for
Maybe a
stopping
little
by.
too much, but anyway. All right, so let's move on to our main course for the evening. We have finally seen. We wanted to do this 2 or 3 weeks ago, but whatever. Whatever. Some shit happened. But here we are now to discuss Evil Dead Rise, and I'm really curious as to what everybody thinks. I myself, oh man, I loved it. I was so hyped after I dug it. I totally dug it. I see. I can tell by that look on your face right now. They're nasty. But this will be interesting. I like it when some of us disagree. It makes it more interesting. I thought it was because I didn't know at first that the director also wrote it.
Yes.
And I think he did an outstanding job. I thought it was a really good script, and like you can set your watch by it. As far as the format goes, because she gets possessed right at the 30-minute mark. You could set your watch by it. They introduced the characters, they foreshadowed everything. We got to see all the weapons, the tattoo gun that you knew right there was going in somebody's eye at some point. The scissors. That's all I can think of off the top of my head. But
The fucking.
and I love the beginning too.
Thing. Whichever, yeah.
Cheese grater.
Thank you, grinder thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Written and directed by Lee Cronin.
Yes, that I
This
think
is-
did an outstanding job.
Yeah, considering he hasn't really done too much before.
Yeah,
That was okay.
I feel yeah. I feel
Hey,
like
do
he
you-
understands. I'm getting some interference. Hold on.
Look at that.
Okay,
Do you have the clearance?
check,
Do you have the
Good.
clearance to run the interference?
check.
I don't know what's going on. No clue.
What's going on?
Hey Dave, do you have the plot look there in front of you? Maybe go over just a quick one real quick. Then we get on this.
Sure. If you guys want to go through and do a real quick.
This is a cheese grater they gave us whenever we went to that fucking con
I said twice.
and stopped
That's
by
hilarious.
the Evil Dead booth.
Yeah.
Here, get me with the cheese grater.
Yeah.
Give me with cheese grater.
No,
right
I'm
there.
not cheese grating your
Right
nipples
there.
either.
Right there. It's hard. It's hard already. Just
Yeah.
get it. I'm never gonna learn. So yeah, if you guys just want to go through your real quick thoughts on the movie, I'll look up a synopsis on the Wicca, our friends over at Wikipedia. And then we'll come back and we'll really deep dive into this movie and see what's up. I'm sorry, I'm in a weird mood tonight.
No, it's cool. It's fine. I'm just
Frightened.
trying to figure out what's going on.
I think Dave's been possessed by a demon.
That's
Yes.
okay. No, well, I'll get more into it as we talk about it or whatever, but it really, I was so excited about this movie coming out. This is the movie that I was looking forward to.
I was trying to not hype it because I'm in the same boat. Like I watched it, I like it, but I've got some issues with it, and I was just trying to not say anything until this guy watched it, and he just kind of was in the same boat. So
Yeah. It didn't grip me. There was nothing about it. Like if a movie is got me, I'm not on my phone. I'm not picking up my guitar and fucking with it. And about 40, 50 minutes of this movie, I picked up my bass and just started plucking on it while I was watching. It lost my interest. There's parts of it that are really cool. That the death scenes are pretty cool. Some of the gore is pretty cool. I had some issues with it, and it just didn't sit well with me. It just didn't grip me.
Yeah.
There was nothing. Everybody's like, "Oh, this movie is so amazing," and then I just no, it's pretty mediocre.
well, I went into it super high because I went to the theater and watched it, And I love the old ones. I even like the remakes of 2018 or whatever.
2015.
Yeah. God, it's been that far. But
Yeah,
10
right.
years. 10 years.
Yeah, 10
yeah,
years.
cool, right? Fuck. But it just I don't know if I was too hyped when I watched it, maybe, and my expectations were just so high. But I don't know. There's some bits and pieces that to me, they didn't do enough with the book. I don't know. To me, it's I love the look of the book, the new style, like I said, spoilers alert, whatever. But with the teeth opening and just like the new style of the book, but there wasn't a lot with it. It seemed. I mean, they showed the artwork and some different things, but I don't know. It just, to me, in the old ones, the book is like the main character almost, and in this, it just kind of took a back seat a little bit. So that was my biggest hang up with it, I think.
Yeah, the book did look a lot different, but I liked it. But the iconic book is still the best.
Oh, for
Whatever
sure.
you do, don't open that. Don't open that.
It's not open.
No, I mean, I don't give a shit about being collectible. I'm saying don't.
Don't see. That's the reason why I want to open it.
Don't bring that into
I want to see what's cracking inside there.
No.
Unleash
Have you not learned anything?
I did.
All right.
I got a chainsaw. I'm straight. It's right here.
But no. Yeah, I'm on board with Whitman here. You know, going into this film, one of the things I was kind of expecting was a little bit more of the Necronomicon. You know, that was the way it was kind of sold to me. You know, maybe I misunderstood, but I kind of figured like, oh, we're gonna actually get a little substance here. We're gonna dive into the pages of the Necronomicon, maybe get some kind of back story or just some kind of deeper understanding of the Necronomicon and what it entails. And we hardly got anything. The screen time for the Necronomicon was probably less than the last film, the 2013 film. You know,
I would say so.
Yeah. So I was very disappointed in that fact.
Okay.
A few other things. I mean, like Chuck said, the gore, the violence, the death, all. I was fine with that. I was fine with the cinematography. I think everything looked good. I didn't think any of the kills or the violence or anything didn't look hokey or CGI shit or anything like that. So I was fine with how everything looked, the violence and all of that. Like I said, my main thing in this one, I'm like on the fence. I'm like at a 50%er on this one because I kind of like it, but I'm like, I wanted more. Yeah. And I wanted more for a story, and I wanted more from the characters, and I didn't get that from either.
Agreed.
Because I felt so bad for that little girl. Oh my God, my heart just went out to that poor little girl that's going to be in the most intense therapy for the rest of her life, no doubt.
Yeah. Right.
But she didn't even seem that traumatized.
No, she didn't.
And that was another thing. I was like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know.
Your whole family is possessed and massacred, and you're just like, I mean, yeah, you're sad, but you'd be in hysterics, I would think. But maybe it's shock, maybe it's whatever. But like,
maybe shock and adrenaline.
Yeah,
maybe still trying to. Because if all this was, I see what you're saying, though. I get your point.
She doesn't process until after the credits roll.
Especially when she has the staff and the sister comes towards her and she impales her sister. With the staff, like that's got to be probably the most traumatizing thing in that for that little girl. And she's just like, like she's come to terms that these people are monsters now. But I think for a child, you wouldn't be able to process that quickly. I feel like these kids would be kind of like catatonic, seeing all this shit. So I don't know.
The two oldest kids did not care about them at all.
No.
I didn't like either one of them. The mom and the aunt, their characters were fine. I don't understand the and also again spoilers on this shit. Obviously, if you haven't watched this movie yet, don't watch a podcast about it. But like the whole thing about the aunt being pregnant, why? Why did it really matter?
It kind of didn't go anywhere.
I said that too.
Hold on. It didn't go anywhere. And the thing is, we were all wanting it to go somewhere. They could have done so much disgusting shit with that, and
you can just cut that out and give us more economic.
See, yeah,
you know what I mean? Just cut that out and just put a little more of the characters in there. It's like, why did you spend that?
I think the only thing is that they were trying to add to the stakes a little bit, give more motivation for her, maybe. But I do agree overall that you just could have.
She could have just
got rid of it.
You could have taken out.
You just could have got rid of the whole thing.
Yeah, like got rid of the whole backstory of her and the roadie thing and whatever the fuck. Auntie's coming to see what's going on, and then shit goes crazy. It doesn't have to have this whole dramatic bullshit behind it that doesn't even fucking lead to anywhere. We don't care.
I think,
or like you said, that lead to somewhere.
Make it lead to somewhere.
Or just put it out. I don't know.
It's an Evil Dead movie. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh shit. The last time I saw something that was cool was Dawn of the Dead, and nope, nothing. So I figure,
demon, baby,
something cool, but
because even whenever she's like laying on top of her, she's like, "Oh, 2 heartbeats, 2 souls."
Mm-hmm. But
that
was it.
You think something might happen, but nothing ever happened.
I feel like Cronin was just trying to show the progress of the character, where she was kind of, this road tech that just didn't really have her priorities straight in life, and now it's like she realizes she's pregnant, and now she's got to cope with that and understand how she's going to become a mother. And it's like her maternal instincts kind of kick in, how she protects these children going forward, and that's I guess where he was going with that, to try to show the progression.
I get that.
And it just didn't do anything for me.
Well,
if that was the case, then here's our aunt who happens to be pregnant. All right, cool. There you go. All your spooky little shit she says to her. Oh, 2 heartbeats. Oh, so creepy. They could have done it a totally different fucking way if they really wanted to go that way. But they decided to go this way, which was a big confusion and a confusing mess.
Well, because there was a part where I don't remember what the line was, but the little girl says something to her, something along the lines of, she realizes she's going to be a mother, and it just kind of, when the little girl says something to her, and it just lights a fire under her. You can see the switch go off.
Did she say something like, "Oh, I think you'll be a great
good mom"?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, she said something to her, and it kind of lit a fire, and you can see the switch go off in her head, where she's like, "Fuck this, we're getting out of here."
But I feel like
a lot of wasted time.
I do agree. Maybe that whole thing just could have went, but
and especially after everything that she just went through, I feel like she probably would have had a miscarriage anyway.
Probably,
because it's like, how do you even go through that and not, whatever? I don't know.
I mean, and let's be honest here. A demon knowing somebody's pregnant, they're going to do whatever they can to destroy that. And that belly was not touched, I don't think, once.
Oh,
the demon doesn't even hurt. Doesn't really.
They just didn't even, mess with
the demon. I feel like the demon like this would have stomped on her over and over again, in a very, very horrible way. Not just be like, I don't know. Again,
because there's a part where the demon has its hand on her stomach, I think, and the claws, because I thought she was going to get infected there.
There was a part,
I felt like the claws were going into her flesh, and I was like, oh shit, she's fucked. Unless it's the child that ends up infected, but I don't know how that would work.
Yeah, but again, it didn't go anywhere.
No,
there's not enough time to make it go anywhere, really. No. You're trying to put that, piece of story in with.
Yeah, if there's not enough time, then don't bother putting it in there. Just say, let's just go ahead and
make the movie 20 minutes longer and add some of that in there or something, and flesh it out a little bit, but.
But maybe we're putting the cart before the horse here. Going back to the opening, we got the POV shot, gives you the old school feel of the evil going through the forest and everything like that. You see it, and it turns out to just be a goddamn
drone
plane.
And
I think the opening of that.
I love the opening sequence.
It didn't fuck around. It just straight up was like, boom, here's what you got.
And then
when she rises out of the water and it says "Evil Dead Rise,"
and it's real big, all the way across the screen. Evil Dead Rise.
I
was like, oh man,
scalps that bitch though. That shit was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And she comes walking out on the deck like, my life's fucked.
Well, I mean, she could still be okay being scalped like that, you know.
Yeah, but it was.
I don't know if I'd want to be.
No,
Just
No, I don't
I'm
think
done.
you would.
walking around looking like Peter Boyle the rest of your life.
but you get those throwbacks to, like I said, with the evil going through the woods, the POV shot. You got the cabin, you know, these little throwbacks and homages to the original films.
and yeah, I like the throwback to the eyeball.
Oh yeah.
Chainsaw, of course. Chainsaw has to be.
All
there,
like the
but-
iconic lines, like "Dead by Dawn," fucking "I'll
Yeah.
swallow your soul."
That was
Yeah.
kinda
All
cool,
that was
yeah.
in there.
Dead by
That
dog.
shit was dope.
Little
Bruce's
Easter eggs.
Bruce's little voice cameo.
Yeah.
Right.
That was dope.
That's pretty cool.
As the priest on the record.
Yeah.
So that was cool.
Dead by
Overall, I dug it. I will.
Yeah, I
I'll
was,
go back-
I
I'll go
was
back and
looking
watch
down
it.
whenever I heard him fucking scream, like say his shit, like his little line, like "destroy it." Like as soon as I heard his voice, my ears perked up, and I looked back up at the screen. I was like, "Oh,
Oh, actually, there was one thing I was disappointed in, and that was the cheese grater.
yeah."
The cheese grater had about 0.5 seconds of screen time, which
Yeah.
you know they had it in the
That
trailers.
little
they-
scene was hype.
you know, this was part of their marketing.
Yeah.
They gave
Right.
these out. They gave these out. So, I mean, I will admit I winced when she, scratched her. I think it was her
Oh,
ankle,
yeah.
right?
The
Yeah.
back of her calf.
You know, I still was like, oh fuck, because we've all done that with our knuckles on the
Yeah.
stupidest invention ever. But I expected a lot more out of the cheese grater, which is a weird
I
thing.
used to use one from the bottom of my feet heels. Yeah. Just tell you this. Yeah, I get really bad. My back of my heels get really bad. So
Oh,
I
nice.
used to say a cheese
Oh,
grater. I
damn.
do that with. And then I found out they actually invented things for your feet that are like cheese graters, but they're
Yeah.
for your feet, and they feel a whole lot better. I'm
Oh,
not.
yeah, there's-
Sure.
They're great. If you ever go and get a pedicure, they'll do that. They'll kind of
Oh yeah, no,
do take off all the dead skin and everything like that. Fucking feels
Yeah.
great.
it's good stuff.
Yeah. So it's I guess I'm nitpicking, but I expected more from the cheese grater. That's all.
See, I was kind of hoping for more of a like Gringy like type kills too, like I know like I don't like comparing the shit, but like even like the 2013, like there wasn't any like real Gringy type
Oh.
scenes where like the chick licked the razor,
Oh,
shit like
God.
that. Like the closest she got was with the tattoo gun in the eyeball, but then it never fell through.
I mean, you got the glass in the throat, but I mean,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
but
Well, like,
still,
even,
yeah,
like-
no, I kind of agree.
like there's no like needle in the eyeball, like nothing like that, like
Yeah.
nothing like
was
really
kinda hoping
kind of
for
like
that.
makes you turn your head. Me too. I was
You
waiting for
got
this
thinking
fucking.
in the first one, like the old one, where she gets stabbed in the ankle with that pencil.
yeah,
And it's just grinding on her ankle. Like there's
Right.
no like,
the guy gets the fucking
yeah, there's always like really like what you were saying. It's like,
glasses.
Yeah, there really weren't any of those scenes where like you could actually feel it and be like, "Fuck."
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a lot more
I wanted
cringe
some more of
moments in the
those.
other one, in the 2013 one than
Like overall,
Yeah,
I thought it was a fun, good movie. But I mean,
I mean, no, like again,
I watched
no
it a
matter
few
how much I'm
times.
trashing it, I liked it. I didn't hate it, but it's
Right.
just like it's a sequel that I happen to, even though I was completely like, oh, this is going to be so great, I can't wait. Ooh, this is going to be awesome. Then I had this guy over here going, eh. So everybody else is like, oh, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Then I watch it and I'm like, I'm all about it. I'm like, whatever. And I'm sitting there and like 20, 30 minutes in, I'm like, I'm not really grabbed.
Well, I told this guy there was one part that really hung up, and it was still about the Necronomicon, because it would show us a piece of art, like with the mom possessed, and then it would show like that conglomerate thing that was at the end. They had these matchups, and they showed one scene in the book where these tentacles are coming out of a mouth. I can't remember if it's a male or female's mouth, right? And then the next scene or pretty close to it is when she's eating the glass.
Yeah,
Right, so if she turns around, you think maybe there's going to be that tentacle or there's going to be something, and they never have that tentacle shot. It's the only piece of like art that
but
doesn't.
she ends up throwing up a bunch of those bugs or whatever first.
Yeah, it's not like, and in the artwork in the Necronomicon, it looks like almost like arms or appendages, like a
Right.
and it just
She had something come out of her mouth. Right, I think right before the glass, she had like some kind of
Most of them do. What?
Well, she like threw up and spit all those like bugs or something down on the.
And she had like the
table.
black, like what happened to Ash's hand kind of happened to her face.
Yeah.
But they didn't really match that art. So I'm like waiting for this like weird tentacle shit to happen, and it never really happens. I was like, man. But it was just more Necronomicon stuff that I had. You know,
Yeah, I've been stabbed and they got me. I'm all black veined out.
Right. And then there was a lot of that, or at least some of that, but just not. I don't know. I just had the issues with the book that they just. I wish there was just more, or
Well, a little
I
bit
don't know.
more. Yeah, that would have been cool. And I don't know. And part of me just felt like it felt almost rushed in ways, or they were trying too hard with certain things. Like I don't know. I really, because I was fine with the idea of it being, a mom going through a divorce because her fucking ex is a piece of shit and she got her kids to deal with.
I think the story itself
And
is good.
I think it's a good story, whatever. But man, they just, again, I didn't hate the movie. I'm just kind of like
Just like
in
some-
the middle of it.
Well, some parts of it, I think
It's weird because we're gonna have a lot of criticisms here, but at the same time, we're not saying fuck this movie. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, and it's not because we love the franchise so much that we're trying to defend it, but it's just like I said, I'm right in the middle where it's like there's enough that I liked to where I'm not on the negative side, but there was a lot of negative shit that could have been fixed to make it much better. I think.
Yeah.
That's what I pretty much what I told Dave earlier on the way over here. I was like, I liked it. I was like, I was kind of satisfied. I was like, I tried to pick it apart on purpose, but I really couldn't. But at the same time, things could have been done a little different.
I like it, but I don't love it.
Right.
That's where I'm at, because I've still been suggesting people watch it. Like my friends will ask or whatever. So I'm still like, yeah, go watch it, but I'm not going to talk about it until after you see it.
And I even went back. Oh, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah.
I was going to say.
Good.
No,
You got.
God damn it.
No, I went back and watched 2013 today just to kind of have a little comparison and everything like that. And it almost feels like this was a knockoff of that. Both of those films, 2013 and then Evil Dead Rise, you don't get the vibe from the original films. They're different. They're off on their own. There's no comedy or anything like that. But this one feels very similar to the 2013, except like with 2013, it was more brutal. With this one, it was more creepy to me. I think Alyssa Sutherland, who plays the mom Ellie, did a fantastic.
Great.
She killed.
I think she carried the movie.
Yeah, I do too. Oh yeah,
she's
for sure.
The selling point in the whole movie to me.
Yeah. And it was, all of her mannerisms. I think she even said she was inspired by Jim Carrey in The Mask to kind of do all the strange body mannerisms and everything like that. So she did a fantastic job. And like I said, it comes across more creepy than brutal. And it almost feels like they took 2013 and then threw it into like a residential setting. You're not out in the woods now and you're in an abandoned apartment building. And I don't know. It felt very similar in ways and then very different ways, but it didn't add anything more to the franchise, in my opinion. It was just like another chapter, and it didn't really give you more,
we got to see more pages from the book or different pages from the book, but I would like to get more. Don't leave some mystery to it.
Yeah,
don't tell us everything about it, beginning to end, but just a little bit more. But I think the book is similar to the box in that there's more than one of them. There's probably thousands, if not millions of them.
Yeah.
Where's that movie?
What was I going to say before?
Right.
Well, wasn't there 3 in the one film?
Yeah, there was, I think, 3 in Army of Darkness.
Yeah. So a lot of people have predicted the original Necronomicon that Ash has and everything's is one of them, and then the one from 2013 is another one, and then the one from this one is another one. But you don't know if it's in kayfabe if all of these realities are part of the same world or not. If it's just different or standalone.
I'm all right with any of those options. I just want more of it, like dig deeper in it. I don't care what.
And how does it end up in a fucking bank vault underneath an apartment building? And
I was wondering that myself.
I would have rather had a little bit more backstory to that.
Yeah, I was
than
waiting
this-
for it because they
than
mentioned,
some
you know,
other
you have the picture of the priests, you know, that have the incantation. So it's like, why would they put it in a bank vault?
They usually go
Yeah.
How did
somewhere.
that get there? Like, wouldn't you put it
Surrounded
in
by
a
crosses and medallions.
I mean, like, I guess
Yeah.
just for the security of it, that's I don't see. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
that's-
anybody's
that's the
guess.
thing.
Your guess
I
is as good
wouldn't-
as mine.
Yeah, I wanted
but
some of that.
it just didn't make any sense. It's like how did this get here? Why is this here? I don't know. It's just one of those weird things.
And I mean, this movie went by fast. What was the runtime? Hour 30, hour 40?
Like
something
135, something like that.
So
Yeah,
I'm
that's
curious
pretty
if
good.
there's a director's cut
137.
we'll really get. Well, maybe we'll get some of this stuff.
That's true.
Because it
that's
is a
pretty
short
curious.
runtime. I mean, the movie went by quick. I mean,
Yeah.
they were down in that parking garage. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, fuck, already?
Yeah.
But what I was going to say a minute ago was like the same thing happened to me with the Hellraiser remake. The first time I watched it, I loved it because I was so hyped. I couldn't wait for it.
Yeah.
Sure.
Now
The
this-
second time I watched it, I still liked it, but I was kind of like, I wasn't as hyped. And then the third time I watched it, it was like,
Minor decline
Eh.
every time.
it reminds me sort of that episode 1 thing that happened when you go to the theater to watch it for the first time and you're so hyped and you're so hyped. And then the more you watch it, like, okay, I just need to come to terms with this. This movie sucks.
Terrible.
Episode 1 I'm talking about, not Evil Dead. Because I still like it, but I will say I did like the 2013 one better.
Yeah,
Like I
And-
said, like Mike said too, like the 2013 one just had more of a brutal feel to it. Like it was just the killings were just fucking
the whole
in your
thing
face
was-
and just made you be like, fuck. But this
Mhm.
one I didn't really have that effect like at all.
But so I'm curious to see what's going to happen when I go back and watch it again. If I still feel the same way, probably not, because
Probably
when
not,
you're so hyped to watch a movie like that, and it's finally coming, and you're just like, oh man. But then you go
this
back and
one-
watch it again.
And plus, we're picking out all these little intricacies that you're gonna like
Oh,
go back and
all that
You're-
thing.
you're gonna pick it up and you're
Yeah.
like, oh yeah, what the fuck. Especially it's just like episode 1. Whenever you use child actors, it's always gonna be a fucking wild card. Whether especially in horror.
Yeah, that's the worst. That's the worst.
I'm
It's-
very sketchy about having kids in horror films, just because it's like, if a kid can survive whatever the threat is, then how much of a threat is it really? You know what I mean?
That's a,
It's
yeah,
like-
that's a really good point. That's a really good point.
They're fine on it.
And even if you go back to like Halloween with Jamie and like Child's Play with Andy and stuff like that, it's not as bad because for children they don't have any real benefit. They're not strong. They're not they can't really deal with the threat. All they can do is run away.
And they're
and-
easily manipulated.
Right.
Is all
But
those
like,
things.
But that kid flung against the wall pretty easy in that hallway scene.
But with the setting this time, there's nowhere to really run because you're stuck on that floor of the apartment building. So it's like they're just running from room to room, and you're just kind of like, you saw how the mother dispatched everybody out in the hallway like that. Like,
Right.
why hasn't she done that to the other people? Is she toying with them or whatever? You can say that. But I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. Kids in horror films, not a big fan.
But I think she was just there for the sympathy.
Probably.
I believe. I don't know.
Usually,
Something different.
Yeah, like the other two kids were just seemed like they were
And they-
expendable characters.
They had to make that connection because it
Right.
reminded me of Aliens with Ripley and Newt. A
Yeah.
little bit.
yeah. I kind of got that feel too.
And what was
Which
the other
Alien
thing?
was a much better movie.
Because it was a station wagon at the end, right? It wasn't the car.
Right.
Yeah.
The car wasn't in this one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the station wagon reminded me of Poltergeist at the end when
Yeah,
they're trying to get the fuck out. They're
Right.
trying to get out of there.
And I was thinking that too. I feel like Cronin threw in little Easter eggs of films that he
Oh.
was inspired by. So
And
it's
I-
like you got Poltergeist with that car. You got the blood in the elevator.
Yeah,
reminds
that
you
was
of The
great.
Shining.
That was
Reminds
great.
reminds you of The Shining. Stuff like that Cronin probably enjoyed, and he wanted to
Yeah,
throw in
'cause-
there as little homages to the
on
films.
top of the Evil Dead.
Because like the family demon, whenever they all binded together, was kind of like a thing towards the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the Nightmare on Elm Street reference.
Yeah, that was pretty funny at the beginning.
Yeah,
Right,
so-
you can watch the bad ones. There are no bad ones.
Right?
I think I probably said bullshit at the screen. We just watched Freddy's Dead again for the first time in forever.
Oh man,
And let me tell you, there are bad ones.
that movie is rough. Forgot how
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little soul too.
No, we won't even go. We'll pick another episode for that.
right.
Because I like
Freddy
Freddy
episode.
a whole lot more.
Oh yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Well, they build Freddy's Dead as they save the best for last.
And that's where they keep going.
They did. They did. I remember.
No, but did they really save the best for
No,
last?
no, they did not.
There's still all them rumors and shit about England being Freddy
Oh,
one more time.
Jesus God.
They've
Damn
been going
internet.
on for years, though. That's kind of like the Beetlejuice shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But also I did see that Sam and Bruce were coming up with what had they termed an Evil Dead Bible. So they do intend to continue this series for at least a while.
I do like
it'll
that
be
this
interesting.
movie
Yeah.
opened
It-
up
it-
the world, you know, and
Yeah.
like brought it to well, this is in the city in California or wherever it's at, and
It's in
I mean,
LA.
LA, yeah. So it definitely opens up a story to where we can get some really awesome additions to the Evil Dead, you know, mythos, and whether it's an Necronomicon or just better movies or whatever, but at least it kind of brought it back, you know.
Brought it out of the woods. I mean, you only have the cabin in the woods thing for so long.
Right, 'cause I
it's
love
cool.
that. But yeah, if you want the story to keep progressing and growing, you have to get it out of the woods.
Yeah, so that wasn't even an issue to me. I like the idea. Because I know that whoever watches this is going to disagree and be like, "Fuck you, Chuck. Fuck, you're an asshole." And the thing, I didn't hate the movie. It's not a bad movie. It just didn't grip me, and I have some questions that were not answered.
We
That shit
expected
bugs
more.
the fuck out of me. Maybe they'll explain it in the next one.
Yeah,
maybe.
I did like how they how like pretty much like they did like the next day as the opening and then flip the script and then you see how she gets possessed at the end. Like that shit was dope.
Yeah.
So it has returned to the woods, or
Yes.
you know,
yeah.
where does that
That's a
leave?
different cabin. Fuck.
And
Oh.
we don't know exactly where that cabin is. Could it be on Crystal Lake?
Or could it be on the same spot that the old cabin was? You know,
It
because
could be.
you know,
We
in
don't
2013, where the cabin blows up or burns down or whatever. So maybe they rebuilt a triangle
Mhm.
cabin there.
Because it looked a lot more modern.
Yeah.
So maybe they rebuilt it. Don't know. Maybe we'll find out. But I do like how they're giving other directors a shot at it.
I mean
We'll get different visions.
they definitely left it open for a sequel.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure they will, everyone. Which is fine. I'm all right.
Maybe
It's
they'll do another one.
yes. So far, these new series of Evil Dead movies that we've been getting, because I boycotted the 2013 one. I'll admit I didn't watch it till 1 or 2 years later after it came out and was like, well,
You
shit.
ate your words,
All right.
didn't you?
I did.
I did for
I
sure.
did.
Because I mean I love the Evil Dead franchise and fucking it fucked me up. Because I didn't go see it or anything. I was just like, fuck it. And then whenever I did watch it, I was like, all right, that happened.
I walked out of the theater. I walked out of the theater like completely just loving that movie.
Oh yeah, because I went into that one the other way. I went and watched it thinking I would hate it because I love the old one,
Yeah, me too.
you know, and just
Did the same thing with Texas Chainsaw Massacre. It's one of my favorite movies also.
yeah, for sure.
It's definitely a creepy
right.
image.
She's watching us, so we better say nice things. Look at that. She also said
sucking parasite.
that she didn't care for horror movies, and I was like, "Wow, really?" Because she sure looked like she was having fun during
Yeah,
Well, she
this
was
movie.
she was a
Oh,
model.
I said it was fun.
Yeah.
Time.
Yeah.
She's from Australia. She was a model. She hasn't done a whole lot over here. I think she was doing the Vikings TV series, some other stuff. So the whole cast here is relatively new for the most part. I mean, they've done little things here and there, but no breakout roles or anything like that. So
yeah, she'll be doing stuff after this. I guarantee it.
Yeah.
I would hope so.
And
She definitely killed it.
And of course,
no pun.
Lily Sutherland. Lily Sullivan.
That's an awesome job.
That is a very there's a Ash homage completely.
Oh.
Even that that pose.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She even says, "Come get some."
Yeah.
That shit
Yeah.
ever.
And
You have, that shit gave me goosebumps.
And you have the point of view shot where the camera's strapped to her and she's running along.
Right.
It really kicked into full Evil Dead gear in that scene there once they get out in the garage, and they go to the wood chipper and everything like that. So
Yeah, the way this shit was filmed and shit was fucking amazing.
Oh yeah, there was great cinematography in this movie, and didn't she even have a blue shirt on too?
Yeah.
So that was cool. That was cool. I
so much
that.
blood. So much blood. I think the Cronin said they ended up using like 1,700 gallons of fake blood for this film.
And most of that was probably the elevator.
Yeah.
Which I loved. I spent just the little things like when the elevator goes ding, then all its fucking blood starts pouring out.
Like even like in the beginning, whenever fucking she gets tied up, not by like tree branches, but from the fucking cords in the elevator.
Yeah.
Like they even went back into like do all that shit to kind of like pay tribute to the OG.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool scene.
And then they kind of keep that same sequence because like that sequence is pretty much in all of them, I think, but in Army of Darkness. And then they even did it in the 2013, so they just kind of kept it going. So that was cool.
Yeah.
Where would y'all put this one on your Evil Dead list?
Last.
Fuck. Damn, I don't know.
I came with it quick.
I'm going to agree. I'm going to last. Yeah.
I guess it's going to have to be last. It has to be last.
I like them all in order.
Yeah, probably.
Like I hate to say that, but it's gonna be.
It sounds like we're burying this fucking film.
Yeah, I don't
really
mean to. I'm not. I
That's what's
said
funny.
the first thing I said was like I loved it.
It's like I'm still going to go see it and shit. Like, I'm going to watch it again probably. You know what I mean?
Guessing himself.
Yeah,
I was telling Chuck I thought we were going to be on the outs not liking this movie as much. But
it's because then you gave me a tier list, and it's like,
Yeah, if you got to compare them and put them on a
No.
list, it's got to go at the bottom.
Yeah,
it's got
that
to,
changes
right?
things. That changes things.
and plus, with
They all
2020,
rank high though.
and it's probably one of the best horror films I've seen in 2023, which isn't saying much, but
We're pretty early in.
I mean, I think we started with Megan, and then I think there was another Blumhouse movie that came out.
We won't talk about them.
we got
They don't
Scream,
exist.
Scream
Oh,
6.
Scream 6.
Scream
That's right.
6 is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I thought Scream 6 was pretty good.
What else? I mean, if you consider Renfield, it's more comedy than horror.
Yeah, it's comedy.
I just saw fucking Pope's Exorcist a couple weeks ago.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Was Knock at the Cabin
that sucks.
2013 or 23?
Yeah.
That was a weird one.
So not a lot of good competition there, but it's
Well-
definitely up near the top as far as the best of 2023 so far.
Yeah. Hopefully, when we get to September, October, they'll start cranking them out. But I am glad it got a theatrical release.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, it
It
killed
was, and I still think it's the only movie I can think of that was originally supposed to go to streaming, and
Yeah,
they were
it's
like,
true.
"Wow,
Yeah.
fuck that! This
Yeah,
is going in theaters."
Yeah, it was supposed to be a Max original kind of deal.
Yeah, and it tested so high that they said, "Well, let's put it out, see
Yeah.
how it does."
And I think it's over the $100 million mark so far. So
Yeah, it's making
it also is the highest grossing one so far. So, but when you're talking a tier list, man, you're up against Evil Dead, you're up against Dead by Dawn, you're up against Army of Darkness, and I did like the 2013 one a little bit more than I did this one.
Yeah.
So
2013 is number 3 on my list. So
I would.
because for me, it's Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, the remake. Army of Darkness.
You like the remake more than Darkness.
Almost
Yeah,
like
I do. Honestly. I'm not big into time travel shit and all that. So I mean, if I were really gonna put it, like yeah.
Chuck's like, I don't want to fucking watch Doctor Who,
Yeah, I'm not.
Dr. Ash.
I think I'd
Who?
go. Man, I don't know. I think I'd go off the top of my head. I think I would go 2 Army, 1 remake, Rise.
Get out of
My
my
list
house.
is exactly the same. Yeah.
You weirdos.
There, see?
You weirdos.
You can't throw us both out. Eh.
Did you say what yours was, Chad?
Yeah, I said I like them in order.
Yeah, he just
Like them in order? Yeah, that sounds about right.
Well, no, mine's 1, 2, the remake, Army of Darkness, and then this one.
I just think Dead by Dawn is the pinnacle of the whole franchise.
I love it.
I think part 2 is the best.
One just, I don't know.
The first one I ever saw was Army of Darkness.
Me too. I watched it first when I was a little kid, and I didn't know.
Yeah, she was on HBO all the time when I was a kid.
Yeah, I didn't know Evil Dead was related to it until I got an old Fangoria magazine and was reading them. You know, I was like, oh shit, they're
Yeah. Especially when you saw the box art for Army of Darkness.
Oh yeah.
It looked completely like, what is this?
Looked like a romance. It looked like a romance novel.
Yeah.
Which that's the gimmick.
And I remember because Dead by Dawn just had that picture of the skull.
Yeah.
I remember the video store had this giant banner on their window, and it had that skull, and it said "Evil Dead 2: Dead by Dawn." And I was like,
it would be right beside
that?
Faces of Death, so there's just a bunch of skulls lined up.
Yeah.
There was an Army of Darkness poster that hung up in Movie Warehouse in the town I grew up in, and as a kid, I just thought it looked cool. And when I first saw Evil Dead, I caught the ass end of it on an Up All Night episode. Had no idea what the movie was, and I didn't know what it was till years later when I had some friends that were like, "Oh, you ever heard this movie?" And I was like, "Nah." And they watched it, and I was like, "Oh shit, it's that fucking movie." And I've been hooked ever since. Because I fucking love it. That first one, man, just fucking does it for me. I don't know.
I saw part 2 roughly like relatively close to whenever I saw Army of Darkness. Like I'm pretty sure it might have been like the same weekend because it was on like either HBO or fucking Up All Night. Yeah, maybe that.
Yeah, because I think I saw the first 3 in reverse. I think I saw
them
Army
relatively
first,
close
then
together.
2, then 1.
Yeah.
And then as I got older, I was like, remember that fucking movie when the guy had a chainsaw arm? And then we fucking like looked into it and found it and was like, oh, bet. And
right.
Life was changed after that.
One of the all-time.
But I love them all. I mean, coming up with a tier list for that's fairly difficult because I can watch any of them anytime. It's it's those type of movies.
I don't know. The original 3 are just it's just a totally different feel. It's like I love the comedy aspect. I love Bruce. And it's one of those few horror films where it's like so many have the final girl. He's the final guy. He's the guy that comes in and kicks the bad guy's ass, the monster's ass, and you fucking dig that. It's not like other horror films where you're kind of rooting for the monster.
That's why it's one of the few horror films that I root for the good guy.
Yeah.
It's like I want Jason to kill the kids. I want Freddy to kill but this is the one that's like you want Ash to win.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I think 2013 proved to us that we don't need him though.
True.
Like, I mean, I think that it was, I like the fact that they had this whole thing where it's like, all right, remove him, remove what you know when it comes down to that. It's a totally different kind of thing.
Yeah.
Right.
Because the Evil Dead movies, to me, like, it's like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies. There's only one movie in that franchise I don't really care for. You know what I mean? So it's like, when I saw, like, I feel the same way about Evil Dead. Like, so when seeing this, I'm like, I want to like this movie a lot more because it is what it is. And again, it's going to go in my collection one day with the rest of them. And I will watch it on occasions, whatever. And one day it might end up being more of something that I prefer, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
It's just
I pre-ordered it already.
I don't know. 2013. Going back and watching it today. I don't know.
It's great.
I don't know. I wouldn't say it's great.
It's great. It is great. I'm sorry. You're wrong.
It's an
opinion, but you're wrong.
My opinion's wrong. God damn it. I don't know.
Your opinion's canceled. Okay.
I hate the baby face turn towards the end where it's like, okay, now the bitch that's been possessed is fine, and now she's the hero. Like, I don't know.
Well, I mean, I think it makes sense to me. That movie gets a 5 in my book. Like, I love that fucking movie. That movie gripped me. Like, when I saw it in theaters, I was hooked immediately. Like, I love the way it looks. The story was good. The characters didn't completely piss me off. I actually knew a little bit about some, actually kind of liked them a little bit. So,
and that was another thing. Like going back to what we were saying earlier, where they didn't really feel that traumatized by killing other family members or seeing their other family members turn into these monsters. The one from 2013 actually had it to where, you know, the brother was so adamant about his sister and saving his sister that he didn't have the guts to fucking burn her and burn the house down.
Right.
And he was like, I'm just going to bury her alive and try to save her. And in this one, it's just like there's no family connection. It doesn't feel like a strong family. You don't get that background. You don't get that story. You don't get, you know, the substance to the family to where you give a shit about these people dying. So, yeah. Whatever.
So I am curious if we'll get a director's cut where we'll get some more scenes.
I'm sure we will.
You know, I don't know. Oh fuck! What was I gonna say? Did somebody drop me on my head?
You did. You dropped yourself on your head.
Mike.
Mike's not here.
So there's only Zool.
Mike's with the maggots now.
Mike's with the maggots now. Guys, I don't know what's going on.
Pants.
I don't know what's going on.
It's inside me.
Oh, God.
Hello?
You smell like ham.
It belonged to me.
What's happening to me?
All right.
I'm better now.
Dead eye, Mike.
What happened?
Your acting is superb.
You went full Undertaker.
Yeah, good job with the eyes.
It always, God damn, this show flew by. Jesus. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I miss you guys so much.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, this is good to be back, man. I'm glad you guys are
Yeah.
back.
Is that my
It's weird.
Oh, I thought you had another prop. But yeah, as of now, I still love this movie. I'll still go back and watch it again. I am curious to see what happens when I.
You just sound a lot sadder about it now than you did at the beginning.
Yeah, those fucking assholes. They ruined this movie for me.
Thanks, guys, for crushing my soul. Appreciate it. Sorry.
Swallow
your soul.
That's okay, because I was talking to a buddy of mine last night who loved it too, and then I started saying the same things. And he goes, "God damn it!" I was what? He goes, "I don't know if I hate this movie now or not, because you're making good points." I was like, "Well, don't hate it. I don't even hate it."
Yeah.
I was like, "But I'm making good points." He's like, "Yeah."
It's only because it's stacked up against such great movies. You know what I mean? If it was like, if we didn't have the other parts of the franchise and we just walked into this movie, we would think it was awesome. Yeah. You know, it would be, you know, but it's like, it's up against such good, you know, fodder in the rest of the franchise that, I don't know, it's just hard to stack up against it, I think.
Mm-hmm. I think it always will be too. I mean,
Yeah.
And I don't know. As much as we shit on films, you know, I don't like to shit on films because I know a lot of people work hard on these films, and there's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes that people don't see, like all the fucking special effects people who fucking bust their ass and do a fucking fantastic job. You know, don't get enough credit. You know, or especially like, you know, in other films where the stunt guys that don't get the fucking credit they deserve. You know, there's so many people that work hard on these films, and I want to give them praise. But at the same time, you know, this is one of those films where I wanted more. You know, it's like I I got a good appetizer, but I didn't get that full meal, that full entree to where I'm full leaving the film and I'm satisfied, you know. So we'll see.
Great metaphor. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now I'm hungry.
Me too.
Well, do you guys have some more you would have present to our customers about Evil Dead Rise?
Definitely worth seeing, you know, and maybe multiple viewings, you know. Maybe you know, I need to go back and watch it again, and I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, as of now, I highly recommend it, especially in theater. Go see it in theater.
Yeah.
You know, especially when like the scenes when she's looking through the peephole. I bet that looked really cool on the big screen.
Yeah.
I went and saw it in the theater, and fucking the opening title, like we were talking about earlier, whenever it comes big across the screen like that, I was hype, you know. I was like, ooh, you know, here we go. And
so I said the intro was dope.
Yeah. And so, you know, that's where it leaves us. That's kind of the cliffhanger where, you know, the evil is floating out of the water, and then we don't know where it goes next. So
who all saw it in the theater? Who saw it in theater? I know women saw it in theater.
We saw a third of it in theater.
I was
gonna say I was like, it scared Dave so much that he started having heart problems.
we were talking about that too.
Yeah,
because we were talking about like Terrifier and all that, where all these news reports come out about people getting sick at the theater.
Oh, you're a statistic now.
I was like, Dave, just think, if you would have fucking died, we could have marketed that.
Yes, that's what I said. And I was like, if we can contact like Sam Raimi, Bruce, or like fucking Lee, whoever, and be like, dude, I'll tell people, I'll go on the news and say that this movie did this to me.
Well, not
if you come on the podcast,
not if you died.
He's working his ass like a puppet.
Like, hey, Sam, Bruce,
we'll do a weekend at Bernie's.
Our friend went and saw this fucking film and died,
and he's
so
dead.
I think you owe us some money.
We want our $20 back,
and we'll make our own version.
We tried to get free movies and popcorn, but it didn't work.
And why, you know, fucking turn it into a real franchise. Evil Dead Rise. How about Evil Dead Fries? Why doesn't McDonald's have a Happy Meal with the fucking, you know, Deadite toys and shit like that?
I prefer Rallies. That'd make more sense. If Evil Dead Rise had Evil Dead Fries, because they might as well. Because I mean, those fucking chili cheese fries, man, they're good. But
how fucking dope would that be to have?
They kill me every time I eat them.
A horror Happy Meal.
Yeah, nobody's tried it. Try it. See, we're full of ideas here. I don't know why.
I'm loving it.
Yeah.
I'm killing it.
Yeah, it's
remember those killer Happy Meal toys we used to get? See, you could have put the cheese grater in one. The cheese grater could have been a toy. A little Necronomicon could have been the toy. Little chainsaw.
Yeah.
See, just lock us in a writer's room for 24 hours and we'll save Hollywood. I guarantee it.
We'll save Hollywood.
I mean, I've never doubted that. We could totally save Hollywood. But they won't.
Time to volunteer.
You need writers?
Yeah, we're not with the we're not with the guild. We're not attached to anything.
Yeah, we're not unionized.
Yeah.
Freelance.
Well, if that's all, kids and kittens, it is now time for at least my favorite segment of the week.
I done forgot about this shit.
Yes, it is time to consult our random clip generator. And if you're just joining us, what that is we have a random clip generator, and it produces us a random clip from a random movie, and we watch it just to see what happens. Let's see what happens.
Weirdest thumbnail ever.
Hello, dork. Hey, what's happening, dork? Hey, dork. Hey, dork. Hey, dork. Check that guy out. Hey, dork.
God, I missed
that's
this.
Police Academy.
I was like, I don't know which one, but that's one of the police.
Good old
was like
fucking
3.
Good old G.W. Bailey. is
I
fucking
miss that guy.
Captain Harris.
Yeah.
I mean, he's still alive.
Oh, I thought he passed away.
No, he's still alive. He's on some fucking goofy show.
show.
Yeah, it's
This
like
just
some kind
in, he just died.
Some other cop show.
yeah, it's some NCIS ripoff.
I mean, he was.
More cops.
He was.
Always cops, yeah.
Hey, in Mannequin, he was great.
Yeah, that was 5 actually.
What?
Bring-
That was.
That
That
was
was.
3-2.
That was 5.
Yeah,
Mission to Miami. Mission to Miami, I think
no,
it's called.
you're thinking of Mission to Moscow.
Yeah,
Miami Beach something.
the shitty one.
Yeah, the shitty one. Of course, that part was funny. That was probably the best part of the movie.
The ones without Gutenberg.
Assignment Miami Beach.
That's it. Thank you.
Fucking
Something like that.
bring back Harrison Proctor.
Right?
Proctor, where is Proctor?
But actually, 3's really good. I wonder if our clip generator will give us part 3 because that's the one with Zed and Sweet Chuck.
I was gonna say I was hoping for more of a Citizens on Patrol clip.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun.
Citizens on Patrol.
Anyway, we're trapped in a video store. All we do is watch movies. We can't help it. But anyway, before we do our second random clip of the week, does anybody have anything going on in their lives that they want to share with the internet?
Constantly.
All right.
Best of Sons of Judas Goat. On Friday, Louisville, Kentucky, Fist of Riffs. Had some bands dropped off. Not sure what time it really starts now. I guess 7 o'clock, whatever, 6, whatever, something like that. Come out around 6. 21st Amendment Bar, Louisville, Kentucky, this Friday. Let's see what else. You got Graveyard Talk and Nasty Nation, Spotify, Anchor, Facebook, all those places. Go look at that there. That then there. What the fuck?
All the links are in the description, by the way. If you forget.
I also have a writing segment, a story segment, whatever we call it, Any Last Words magazine from Any Last Words podcast. You can go to Creepy Bastard Entertainment to find shit on that there. And I'm going to have books out soon on Amazon. More of that later.
Excellent. And also the links for Creepy Bastard Entertainment is also in the description, and we will keep you posted on Chuck's writing career as it progresses.
The only thing I've got of note, really, I'm in talks with, I think last time I was on was talking to Jessa Flux. So she's in a bunch of B movies. She just finished Crackoon. It's of course, a play off of Cocaine Bear, but we're working on getting a shoot together, some photo shoots. So that'll be the next noteworthy thing I've got up and going. So. Did
you say Crackoon?
Yeah. She just finished filming that this past weekend. So check that out.
I actually saw that whenever the Cocaine Bear came out. They had Crackoon and then another one coming out called like Meth Gator or some shit.
Yeah. So she's she plays some lady named Charlotte that gets chewed up by this raccoon. And
nice.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be amazing.
I was hoping it was going to be another film in the series, the Cocoon series. They just went to Crackoon.
It doesn't heal. It doesn't heal you or restore your body as well because there's a crack in it.
Right.
And also, our boy Mike did a thing.
Did I?
What? Oh yeah.
Cool. Wait, who's that?
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah.
That's great.
Oh man. Yeah, that's awesome.
So make sure you subscribe.
Good thing you had that arrow over.
Comment, all that good stuff.
Because
they couldn't miss it.
I thought for a minute you were going to point to her tits, and I was like, no, the sign.
I love her face.
Right. That look was perfect.
Right at the sign on the first one. Ah!
Good times at AEW Dynamite. Getting the word out.
Yeah, get the word out. Tell your friends. Tell your enemies. Tell people that don't like you, so they'll just subscribe to get you to shut up.
Come on, and
That works too.
Yeah, come in here. You can talk shit. We don't mind it.
Because
Freedom.
our goal is to hit 1,000 subscribers. And once again, we thank all our new subscribers. We welcome to the party, pal. Welcome to the party, pal.
Over 400 now.
Yep, 401, I believe. Uh-oh.
Hell yeah.
Fuck yeah. Say,
Well, thanks for checking it out, Anthony.
yes, we appreciate it, brother. That's what we try to do. We try to be informative, entertaining,
and bring the funny.
and bring the funny.
That's right. Keeping everybody smiling.
A pleasure. Always a pleasure coming into our store.
Because we would love to hit 1,000. I think a realistic.
We'll go for
What do you
500
think?
now.
What's realistic to hit 1,000?
What do you mean?
time frame?
Time frame ways. Like, do you think the end of the year? Do you think this time next year?
YouTube's a funny thing.
I
It is.
give
It
myself
really
too
is.
high hopes on things. So my expectations of things these days are just time limit expectations. They're not a good thing.
If we could get to it by the end of the summer,
That'd be great.
that would be great for a lot of reasons. So if we could get to by the end of the summer and get that plaque, that would beat a lot.
That'd be cool.
So tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your enemies. Like I said,
You don't get
just
a plaque.
subscribe.
You don't get a plaque for 1,000. You have to have 100,000.
Oh, also, there's one. Hey,
Sorry to
one
burst
other
your
thing. One other like show thing I forgot that's coming up that I forgot to talk about. Also, we're doing a Metal Monday in Louisville on the 29th of this month.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
With which originally was supposed to be with a band called Overload, but unforeseen circumstances, they had to drop off. But we found another two-piece band. They're called Gentleman Pig, and they're pretty badass. And so basically, it's going to be a night of two pieces and farm animals.
So it's not just
and Gentleman Pig. One night only.
So it's not just a clever name.
Yeah. Farm metal. There we go. Farm metal 2023. Alex Tap Room on the 29th.
Are we getting footage of that? Whitman, are you going to get footage of that? Because I really hope so.
We need some great footage we can share with the store.
If I can get it to come out there.
If I get my schedule aligned, I would like to go and see this band too. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to.
All right. Sounds good. All right. Well, before we leave you, as promised, because we miss you guys so much, we will be doing 2 clips of the week. We're working our random clip generator is going into overtime. So let's see what we got this time.
Settle down. It's okay. Okay. Come on. Somebody's holding you, so calm down.
Okay, I'm all right.
Okay, everything okay?
Okay.
All right, get this jerk out of here.
I'll give you a piece of shit.
He's biting me. He's biting me.
Give me that.
The world is mine.
I forgot that movie was doing a thing.
Yeah.
That happened. That happened while we were going.
Evil.
Yes,
Dr. Evil is the only thing about those movies I like.
We will acknowledge the passing of Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
Jerry.
Exactly. So that's it for us for tonight, folks. Join us again next week, Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern.
What is next week?
Are we doing the bear?
The bear.
The Bears.
The Bears. Cocaine Bear. Next week, Wednesday, 10 p.m. Eastern. Don't miss out. That's it for us tonight. Take care of yourselves and each other.